good evening. Welcome to Conversations with Crystal. I'm your hostess, Crystal, and this evening we are joined by Lesley Mingare from the Boys in Town, Rock Divas and Divinyls Show. Hi Lesley, how are you today?
Good, thanks, Crystal. Thanks for having me tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It truly is. I've known you for a little while now, Lesley, and I'm always amazed at the show that you put on.
Well, thank you for that, Crystal. Yeah, it's a lot of effort, but I certainly have some really good musicians in the band that support me doing that. But it's really about trying to make people feel happy, give them something a little bit different. I know we're doing covers like, you know, lots of bands, but just trying to make it a little bit different by delivering those three different sets within the show.
Yeah, and what I like that you do is that you change outfits.
Yes, that's quite time consuming in the breaks. I have about 15 to 20 minutes to change shoes and stockings and outfits and the wig that I wear for Chrissy. So, you know, you got to fix your hair up after that as well. So, but it's good. Sometimes people think they're looking at three different girls.
Yes, well, you know, if I hadn't have known you, I would have thought that too.
Yeah.
And I feel like you bring a different personality each time as well.
Well, I try to make it happy for everyone. And, of course, that's my happy place as well. And, you know, I've always been that way inclined, wanting to perform and get out there and enjoy everything, you know, that I'm doing. It's like time stands still. That's the good thing about music.
Yeah. So why Chrissy Amphlett and why Boys in Town and why that particular niche?
Well, Boys in Town is the name of a Divinyls song.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually originally started with we were called the Ultimate Divinyls Show, and we started with two sets of Divinyls.
Mm-hmm.
Again, two different Chrissy outfits I was doing, and then we just do some covers to finish off. But what we found was people didn't really know all the Divinyls songs.
No, yep.
So I realised this, and it made it a little bit hard to get bookings. So I changed the concept and thought, okay, let's do I felt Rock Divas was the best way to describe, you know, some of your greatest rock chicks.
Yes.
And everybody knows, you know, songs like Devilgate Drive and my dog is squeaking a toy, sorry.
That's okay. She's a sweet little thing.
Yeah, she had to pick the squeaky toy at the moment. Yeah, so, you know, everybody knows those sorts of songs, Pink and Kim Wilde and Tina Turner, Blondie. So it's really great fun to be able to do and trying to do, not to always do what everybody else does, trying to pick those, like with Pat Benatar, not instead of doing Hit Me With Your Best Shot, we're doing Heartbreaker, which is still a well-known song, but it's not one that's played all the time, like Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Not that there's anything wrong with Hit Me With Your Best Shot, but it's just great to be able to hear something a bit different.
You know what, and that's right, and that's what I've found as well is a lot of people will do a lot of the same songs, so there's not a lot of difference between bands.
Yes.
Not all the time, not as a generality, understand. So when you come along to a show and there's something different, you're like, oh yeah, haven't heard that song for the longest time. How great is this?
Yeah, and it's, you know, I had a really great compliment from someone that saw us for the first time and said, wow, that was fantastic, and I can't believe all those songs that you did are songs that you don't hear too often. Of course, you know, we try to mix up the cover set, the pub rock set a bit, but again, still trying to do songs like, you know, I put in Guitar Band, Stevie Wright and Skyhook's Horror Movie, but trying to do a lot of those songs that you don't hear. I have recently put in April Sun in Cuba and Bow River, but, you know, that's public opinion and people ask for those songs. So
They do, yes.
You know,
we found that as well. Oh, can you do April Sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, you've got to have, you know, Sets on Fire,
Yes.
you know, stuff like that. You know, Nutbush gets thrown around a little bit. You know, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's out. But, you know, like songs like Eye of the Tiger, or we were doing Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, we do Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, or You Give Love a Bad Name, Wolf Mother.
I seem to know that you like Bon Jovi quite a lot.
It's pretty sad when you've got a life-size cutout of the man in your music room.
Oh, well, you know what? For your promotional picture, I want a picture of you standing next to him.
I don't know about that. He has been in Zoom meetings and he's been dressed up for Christmas.
Has he? I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, but it is great. So when I'm, you know, in my music room, you know, playing my keyboard or whatever, or practicing songs and things like that, he's there. I'm talking to him. What do you think of that one, John?
And the good thing is he's not going to answer back.
Absolutely. He loves everything I do.
That's it. How good is that?
Yeah, how about we do a song together now?
Now, Lesley, how did this all start? How did the concept for this band all start?
Okay, so Chrissy Ampflett's been someone who I've absolutely admired since she was first heard of. And in actual fact, when I was an apprentice hairdresser in the city, my boss was friends with Chrissy Amphlett. But this was before the Divinyls they were still doing their, like she used to play their demo tapes in the salon, and I'd say, oh, who's this? And she'd say, oh, this is my friend Chrissy. And I go, oh, okay. She goes, yeah, they're an up-and-coming band. They're, you know, trying to get a record deal and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I never got to meet Chrissy, but Mark McEntee used to come in all the time to get his hair cut. My boss, Sharon, would cut his hair. So that was quite interesting. You know, here I was, this young girl, you know, giving a shampoo to this rock guy with his long hair, and it was a side basin, and you know, I'm there shampooing, trying to talk to him, and he's like, yeah, man.
But what a great influence, really, hearing that from a young girl, you know.
Yeah, it was. I've got lots of stories about that place, but but yeah, we won't talk about that. But no, so it was great to sort of meet him. But, you know, I didn't realise the influence at the time that she would have over me. I mean, all music has influenced me since the day I could walk and talk and hear and move and dance and sing.
Yeah.
But she was one in because she was so different.
Yes.
And the pattern for me is, okay, so you've got Chrissy Amphlett that stood out because back then in the 80s, and it still is a bit of a man's world as far as music goes, but she stood out like nothing else amongst all these guys, and she's this little woman, and she just had so much guts and balls.
Mm-mm.
And she paved a way.
She did.
You know, so, I mean, I've read her book and stuff, so it's very interesting what she talks about, and the character when she put on the school uniform and how that came about. So, so she was inspiring in that way, but that's because I've always looked to, I mean, Tina Turner's another one of my inspirations, Olivia Newton-John. There's quite a few, but Chrissy stood out for me. I just thought, wow, she's something different. But then as time went on a bit, okay, here's Madonna. Madonna was another big influence for me. Again, a powerful, strong woman that stood out, doing her own thing. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. Took control of her own business, you know, and was awesome. Now, the person that I look at the moment that I'm in awe of is Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah.
is amazing, so talented, and just how she's so different. I mean, I actually put something on Facebook tonight. She's doing a song with Metallica.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, she goes from singing duets with Tony Bennett to singing with
Yeah.
Metallica.
She's extremely talented, and she's been knocked down so many times.
Yep, and that's
You know?
what inspires me about these women is the way they get up and they just keep going.
Yeah. So how long has your show been running for?
Probably coming up to 6 years now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And so as a young girl, when did you start singing? Or
The minute I could open my mouth.
I love that.
Anybody that knows me, though, that it's not just singing, it's talking as well. Yeah, so since as far back as I can remember, I would put on constantly, I'd be on doing concerts for the neighbourhood.
Oh, I love that.
Whether they were dancing or singing, or miming to songs and doing the show. I would dress myself up in outfits and crepe paper and make streamers on me and different things and
I love that.
the Cupid doll off the cane. The cane used to show with a little Cupid doll on it.
Yeah.
Take the Cupid doll off and I'd have a hat and that cane swinging it around. And anywhere I could perform, I was doing that.
I love that.
And
that's
at
fantastic.
school, my parents in primary school, the principal called my parents up, not because I was in trouble, but because I was never in class, because I was always organising performances.
Oh, wow.
And I was doing the choreography, or I would sit and play the piano, or I would, do all the outfits, the makeup. I would do everything. That was in primary school.
Yeah.
I backed off a little bit in high school because, you had to get a bit more conscious of yourself and wanting to fit in. But I was still all about music and drama and art and trying to get into school plays and, doing things like that in high school.
Yeah.
And I was, when I was 15, because I did piano from age 5.
Oh, nice.
And when I was about 12, which was in the 70s sometime, all the organs were coming in. So Mum and Dad got me this beautiful Yamaha organ, the foot pedals and the 2 keyboards on it. Mm-hmm. And I started playing the organ, and I did a guest appearance with 3 songs at the Young Organists Liberace Yamaha Music Association in Parramatta in the town hall.
Really?
My father had to get a trailer, put my organ on it, take it down to the town hall the night before. He was cursing me. Why can't you just play one that's there? No, Dad, I need mine because it's got all the different registration and sounds.
That's right.
I need mine. So he took it down there, and I was part of that. But I started doing, I was doing lessons for children after school. So 5 days a week after school, children were coming to my home. Their parents were bringing them for an hour lesson. I got $5 for an hour. And I was teaching them.
Piano or dance
teaching, it was
or
an
singing?
Organ. I was teaching them how to read music, basically.
Yeah, right.
How to play the organ.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, but I would have to say, when I think about it, my very first gigs were these young children, because adults were a bit turned off of a 15-year-old teaching them how to read music and play. So it was mostly, young children. These parents of these children were hiring me out on a Friday and Saturday night for their dinner parties.
Oh, how cool is that,
Leslie?
So
my father would drive me to their homes and they would hire me for $5 an hour.
Wow.
I wasn't singing. I was taking requests
Yeah.
And I was sitting and playing music for them while I had, cigars and brandy or sherry or whatever they're drinking, port or something,
Hmm.
at their dinner parties.
Well, that's fantastic. I never knew that about you, Leslie.
No, there's lots of little
That's
things.
that's fantastic. That really is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, did you continue on? Because I know you were a hair or you are a hairdresser. Once a hairdresser, always a hairdresser.
Yeah.
So, why did you go into that particularly? And did you continue doing music the whole time you were working a normal job?
I always wanted to do lots of things with music, and I was writing my own music when I was young as well.
Cool.
And even though I could read music and play, I could also pick it up by ear and write it down on theory paper.
Nice.
But I was also writing my own music at the time. Unfortunately, it wasn't encouraged.
Yes, okay.
I suppose that's just a sign of the times back then, and you're the woman. You'll get married and have
Homemaker.
children, and
Exactly.
you don't put yourself on display, because at 12 I wanted to do ballroom dancing.
Oh,
I
you never
wanted
got to do it?
Yeah, I wanted to. Well, I never got to do it.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I wanted, and I know I would have been good at it too.
I think you would have been too.
And I wanted to do that. I wanted to do TV commercials. I wanted to do singing lessons. I wanted to do acting lessons. I wanted to do anything and everything that was to do
with performing.
Anything musical. I wanted to learn the drums. I wanted to learn the saxophone. Dad went and bought some guitar, a classical guitar with a wide bridge nylon strings that I couldn't get my hands around.
Yeah.
Eventually I got a guitar. Oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 30 odd years ago. Yeah, 35 years ago, and taught myself. But going back probably 25 years ago, I bought another one, and I went and got a few lessons.
Nice.
And she made me read the music. I just wanted to do the chords so I could sing. And of course, because it was about the singing for me, I would quite usually rearrange the chords so they were all the easy ones.
But you know what? I tell you what, that's what I do. If I go, I can't do like a B flat or E flat or whatever, I go, how can I change that so it's easier?
Yes, because it's, yeah.
And if it's easy for you to play and to sing, well, why not change the key? You know what I mean?
Well, it is. And while you're singing and putting emotion into a song, it's hard enough to even strum, let alone, I'm sure if you do it enough. Sometimes I think, I wished I had a really, nailed down on that, because now I'd probably be, quite good at it, but I haven't picked my guitar up in probably 5 or 6 years.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
Yeah,
partly because I like having my nails.
Yeah, I find that too.
Yeah, but also from hairdressing, I have problems with my shoulder and my arm, and after I've played like 3 songs, it's like, oh my God, I can't do any more. The pain's too hard.
Yeah.
But I quite often will sit at my keyboard and play and sing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I bought my keyboard once to jam and did a couple of songs, but that's not me. I want to be out the front. I want to be performing and singing.
Center stage in that spotlight.
And sometimes people say to me, oh, you're such a show off. You're just a big show pony. Well, yeah, great. You think that then.
Well, you know what? I think people who try and bring you down like that they're jealous because they can't do it and you're succeeding at it. Well, and sometimes people just don't like.
Yeah, I don't
like that.
I don't let those things bother me, or else I wouldn't keep doing it. But what I love is seeing people smile, and if they can forget about the electricity bill or the mortgage or gosh, I've lost my job, I need to find another job. If I can make them feel a bit happy with what's going on in their lives for a couple of hours, just to get away from their life for a couple of hours, that's what I love about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there's nothing better for people than to be able to sing along and to just let their hair down. And I know that you're very good at encouraging that.
Yeah, well, it's just I think it's mental therapy. I mean, it helps me,
Yeah.
immensely, to be able to escape and just be up there doing that. And it's and to be part of a band too. It's a great thing. But people sometimes say to me, "Oh my goodness, how do you walk down and mingle while you're singing with all those people that you don't know in the audience?" And but I think, getting back to my hairdressing, I mean, I did that for, I don't know, 27, 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just something that comes naturally to me. I mean, I was obviously not as confident as what I am now, but through all my years of hairdressing, you have to be confident. You gain confidence because
that's right.
You're working with so many people in the public, and you have to have those communication skills. You have to be able to interact. And I think I just naturally want everybody to be a part of what I'm doing. I don't want them and us. I want everybody to be a part of it,
Yeah. I think that's fantastic. So do you do, so you've got your show, the Boys in Town show.
Yep.
Do you do another show besides that, or is your focus on that show?
No, my focus is on that. I am asked quite a bit, you got a duo, when are you going to get a duo? But it's, it's not as easy as just going, oh yeah, bang, bang. It's, you got to find someone, you got to get a PA, you got to make sure, you got those songs rehearsed well enough. And
that's 100% correct.
It's another thing altogether. And I manage this, like, my band.
Right.
So I'm the one calling the venues. I'm the one emailing venues. You'd know what that's all about.
I do, and it's hard work.
It is constantly chasing.
Yeah.
And I work a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't want to turn it into something that I don't enjoy doing.
No, that's right. Well, that was my next question. Because you're doing so much of the running around and then performing and then more running around, chasing gigs, etc., do you feel like it takes a toll on you sometimes?
Not usually, but on the odd occasion where you might do a Friday, Saturday and a Sunday.
Yeah.
That, especially when the Saturday gigs up the coast.
Mm-hmm.
So you've done a Friday night gig, and the next day you're up and you're up the coast, and then you're driving home, getting home about 2:00 in the morning, and then you've got to be at another gig on the Sunday, and you've got to be there by about 11:30 in the morning to start setting up.
Yeah.
That can, I always take, a flex day off after something like that because I need it, because physically, I'm not young anymore. My mind and my voice are okay, but my body's saying, slow up a bit, love. Like, it's a bit creaky. I'm not really jumping out of bed.
Yeah.
And,
do you think, Lesley, if you had the support when you were younger, that you would have made performing and music your main thing, your
100%.
only thing? Yeah.
100%.
And do you believe that it's conditioning from parents and other people around you, but do you think that being a woman also, and a Koori woman as well, that it wasn't promoted, you weren't, given enough and supported enough?
No, I was constantly pushed into sport. I was a state swimmer without even going to swimming training. I was a naturally gifted swimmer.
Excellent, yeah.
And I was pushed into sports. I'm not a sport person. I mean, I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like action movies, but that's about all it gets for me for sport.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe if the music was encouraged, and I'm not putting your mum or dad down or your family.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's I've found that for a lot of women, as you said earlier, where back in those days, we're expected, leave school, get
Yeah.
married, have kids, do a job, do a 9 to 5, and don't really explore your dreams.
Well, absolutely. My brother was always encouraged to do things, but I was always like, I want to do TV commercials, I want to go to dancing, I want to go to singing, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Yeah, I know the feels.
And
Yeah.
because I was also artistic, and one of my paintings won a prize at the Easter show in the junior competition.
Oh, congratulations on
The
that.
school actually put it in. Yeah, I got $40.
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah, I was very good at art, and I got some art lessons, but yeah, still nothing was ever encouraged. And when I'll never forget, one day I went to an expo in high school, which was in the late 70s, and went up to the what do you call them, the sign writers, and because we didn't have computers back then with graphics and stuff on it,
Yeah.
sign writing or whatever they called it back then, and said, oh, I'm really interested in it. And they said to me, well, you're a woman. This is a job for a man.
Yeah, wow, eh?
Yeah. Because back
Wow.
in those days, they climbed ladders, they did shop fronts, windows, all that sort of stuff. But I was really good at doing all that sort of stuff.
But just not given the chance.
No. And
And
then
and
I
that's
thought I'd like to be a policewoman, and my father had his police sergeant friend talk me out of it.
oh, wow.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, I'm going to be a hairdresser, because hairdressing is extremely artistic.
Yes.
It's almost like creating a work of art, because every head of hair is individual, like a fingerprint to that person. So your hairdresser is only as good as their artistic ability.
Well,
And
that's a fair point. I never thought of it that way.
what they can create for you,
Yeah, yeah.
and of course your own natural ability on what you do in the morning with your hair. So there's all these things that come in. So yeah, hairdressing is extremely creative, because I also did makeup and stuff like that as well. I also did a course many years ago in the city that was makeup for television, special effects, photography, and and I actually had a job lined up in a television studio for hair and makeup.
Yeah.
But I ended up knocking it back because it was going to interfere with my social life.
Oh, no.
which is, when you're young, it's important, that you...
It is, yeah.
You go out with your friends, and I thought, oh, no, I don't want to do that, because it was all over the place, the hours you were working. But sometimes I think, oh, gosh, how silly was I?
Yeah, look,
it could have opened up the doors to lots of different things.
Absolutely. If only we had hindsight, eh?
Yeah, I've hosted live band karaoke.
Oh, have you? I did not know that.
Yeah, I did that for a little while, and I've also sung in a duo. I did that for a little while, and yeah, I've auditioned for different bands, and I've had a few different people that things haven't worked out with when trying to create a duo or something like that.
Yeah.
But I eventually thought, no, I'm taking control of this and I'm creating something, and that's what I did with Boys in Town.
Oh, good on you. Good on you. And so what genre would you say is your favourite?
Oh, that's hard. But I'd have to say I really love, obviously, Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
But, yeah, I like probably, a lot of those bands with all the hair and the outfits.
Oh, well, the 80s hair bands.
I love all of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because they're just so outrageous, some of them, aren't they?
They are. They're just, and visually to watch, because I suppose when those bands came out in the 80s,
Yeah.
we had the birth of MTV and
That's
I mean,
correct,
I know we
yes.
had Countdown, but Countdown didn't deliver like what like by the time we got MTV, these videos had really taken off.
Yes, yes, yes.
And had become these productions, and you had all these guys in these outfits with all this hair, and I love hair.
Yes.
All this hair and stuff, and it was like, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
was exciting.
yeah. So you like the 80s glam rock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Do you play anything else? Like, do you play or sing other genres? Like, and I know this is out there, maybe a little bit of country.
Yeah, I've done Linda
No?
Ronstadt before.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, Janis Joplin isn't really
Oh,
country, but
no, she's not. She's fantastic, is what she was.
yeah. I've sung
Class of her own.
Olivia
Yeah,
Newton-John's one of my influences.
nice.
I've done Linda Ronstadt, Shania Twain.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge country fan, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a few songs here and there that I don't mind. But you would see the broadness of what I do at jam
Yeah.
nights.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I like to try different things. I like to push myself.
Yes.
But I have, I like anything from Tom Jones, John Denver, Johnny Cash,
Nice, nice.
to the Beatles, to the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, all those 80s hair bands. I love In Excess.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of Australian stuff.
And it's real good to have a wide range of interests too, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, most
Yeah,
music.
I think so.
Yeah, I love all those bands like Foreigner, Air Supply.
Oh, yeah, Air Supply.
Yeah, I love Air Supply. They're fantastic.
Yeah. So, can you tell me a funny story from a gig you've been at that you've performed at? There's always a funny story or two.
Oh gosh, there are a lot of funny moments. I'm just trying to think of one. I suppose one that constantly I think about is we were we were doing a gig, and we were doing our Divinyls set, and this guy was louder than the band, kept telling us to play Lovers in the Air.
Ah,
That was quite fun, but it was just constant.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like, we don't do Lovers in the Air. This is the vinyl show.
Have you ever had a member of the audience think that they can get up and sing as good as you?
No. I mean, when I walk around the audience, a lot of them try to take the microphone off me.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck getting it.
Yeah, good luck.
There was the first time we played Long Jetty was quite, oh my God, where's the chicken wire? It was, poor Damo, he said he felt like a rock star because he had bourbon all over his pedal.
Oh, wow.
But, they were climbing on everything, and, we had to try and push them back because we didn't want Glenn's equipment getting drinks on it.
No.
There was one time where I said, everybody just stop. I had to pull cords back in. But there was this really tall guy, and he was trying to get my microphone, and, of course,
Yeah.
you're not getting that. Then I went off into the crowd.
Mhm.
When I came back, I went off singing. When I came back, he was standing in my spot. He was standing in my spot. There was no microphone there. It was just the microphone pole. And he was pretending to sing.
Oh, wow.
And that looked quite funny. But what wasn't funny was when he was back in the crowd, so you've got Graham standing on my right-hand side, and, of course, his mic stand is
Yeah.
there and he's playing guitar. This guy, it happens so quickly just sort of swung it around, the boom part around to the mic, grabbed the mic, and, of course, Graham instinctively stopped playing to try and get the mic back.
Yeah.
It just happened so quickly, and then this guy's jumping around with Graham's mic. Anyway, the bouncers got rid of him pretty quick.
Oh, good.
But, yeah, it was pretty wild. It was a
Yeah.
pretty wild night that night. But, yeah, we didn't expect that.
But you know what? It's all great memories, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's people that come up that are just, I don't know, then they just go, oh, can I get up and do a song?
Oh, my
And
goodness.
I go, no, it's not karaoke.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm in a band. Well, that's great. You can sing with your band.
Yeah.
You know, we're you know, it's different if you know the person and you know they're
Yes.
a professional singer, but you know, you don't know this person from a bar of soap. I'm not going to let him get up and sing.
No.
We're being paid as a professional band to
Well,
play.
that's right. And it's a little bit of a bad look, isn't it, really?
Of course it is.
Yeah. And not only that, but my latest answer to, just give me a mic. Oh, I'm going to have a sing. I can do a song. I'm really good at it. And I'm just like, yeah, you might be. And that's fantastic. But I don't want COVID.
Yes.
I don't need to get sick. I have another gig. Thank you.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, people kind of respect that a little bit,
Yeah.
other than, because maybe they've had it. But would I say I'm really scared of getting COVID? No, not really. But I think it's a little bit of bad manners, really.
Well, it is, but yeah. And I mean, you know, if you know somebody that's a singer and you know they can sing, that's a different
That's different.
thing.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely, that's different. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just talking about somebody that's just a random person that you don't
Yeah.
know that wants to get up and sing. And it's like, no.
Have their 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. I mean, I learnt too when I was hosting the live band karaoke, and that's not an easy job, organising people that are drunk and demanding to do this and that, and you know that's quite a difficult thing to do. But you know, because it's a live band, I would say to people, you've got about 250 songs on the song list.
Mm-hmm.
That's the songs the band knows.
Yep.
Okay. So they come back to me and say, oh, I want to do blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not on the song list.
Yeah.
And they go, but why not? I go, they're not a karaoke machine.
Yeah.
They're real people playing real instruments.
Yeah.
And I'd say to them, you can speak to the band in the break. They can learn that song for you, perhaps, if they say yes. And then when you come back another time, they might be able to play that for you. But people would come up and go, oh, yeah, I'm a really good singer. I've won competitions and blah, blah. Okay, that's great. We want people like you. What do you want to do? I'll do April Sun in Cuba or whatever they're doing. They get up. Oh, where's the TV monitor?
Exactly, yeah.
No TV monitor. This is live band. I could never understand why people didn't get that concept.
Yeah, and I think too what I've found is, and you see it at Jam Night as well, because that's a live band. You know, Graham and Glenn and the guys do a fabulous job.
Yep.
But what a lot of singers don't realise if they've never sung with a band before is that a band is not, they're live people. They're not actually the record or the recorded. So they're looking for certain cues. And if they don't get the cues, they are quite lost.
Yeah, you have to learn your timing and you have to learn your
Absolutely, yes. And people don't realise that. They think it's easy and it's actually really not.
No, it's really hard, and especially, you know, as a band on stage, what we hear is a little bit different to what you're hearing out front of house.
Yeah, right, yes.
So there's a lot of noise going on that stage.
Yes, yeah.
And sometimes I can hear something, sometimes I can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm listening to all the musicians
Yes.
And there's a lot going on for you being the one up there trying to, be the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
with your lyrics and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, I can't remember lyrics like I used to. I mean, I like to have my iPad down low just to get a couple of words
Yeah, yeah.
to kick off, to kick
Yeah.
me off again, because I'm scared of getting that. I do it all the time now when I'm talking. Oh, what is that? I can't remember.
Yeah, but look, how lucky are we now that we have the little iPads that you can do that,
Oh,
you know,
100%.
and it keeps us performing longer, and you don't forget words and mess
Yep.
things up, which you really don't want to do anyway.
No,
But
you don't want to do, and you've got a lot going on. But I
yeah,
remember as a young girl, my father always saying to me, if you could learn your times tables like you learn those song lyrics, you'd be brilliant.
yeah, there we go. Well, it's the matter between love and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. So, well, who is the best live band you've ever seen?
Oh, gosh. I love dirty. Are you talking about cover bands?
Oh, any band or any big Australian band, like maybe Daryl Braithwaite or
Oh, it'd have to be John Stevens.
John Stevens. Yeah,
Yeah, John Stevens is fantastic. The Radiators.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to
Is
remember
there, is
now.
there one that stuck out? Have you ever seen Bon Jovi live?
Oh, of course. I cried.
I should know better than to ask that question, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I waited till he did the entertainment centre, obviously, before I was pulled down,
Yeah.
because it's a smaller venue.
Mm.
And I wanted to take my tambourine in so he'd notice me.
Oh, wow.
But they said they wanted to take it off me.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I said, no, you're not taking it. And I said, I
Oh.
promise I won't get it out and shake it around. Because I was
Did you?
close enough. If I had my tambourine and I was shaking it around, he would have noticed me. He would have heard that tambourine.
He would have too, I reckon.
Yeah.
But did you have a good seat?
Yes. Yeah, I made
Oh,
sure.
how could you not, eh?
Yeah, I cried when he came out. I was so emotional.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I-
So if you could sit down and have a cuppa with him, how do you think that would go?
Oh, very well.
I think what I meant was, do you think that you'd sing together, talk about music?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's a very interesting person.
I
Now,
think he's great.
what a lot of people don't realise is the bands that they go and see, or the duos they go and see, or soloists, or whomever they go and see, they don't realise that we're normal people with a normal life as well. They just see, for them it's like an icon-y thing. They
Yep.
see, oh wow. They don't see practicing all the time. They don't see lugging in and lugging out and packing up and all of this kind of thing, and the effort, and especially the effort that you put into your shows. And I think people just tend to forget that a little bit. And, being a woman doing this as well, I think, you need extra compliments and extra strength.
Yeah.
And isn't it good when members of the audience come up and go, oh, I loved your singing, I love doing this, I loved watching you.
I think it's very powerful when other women compliment other women. I think that
Yes.
shows a strong person, and that I think that's the best thing in the world, is other women complimenting other women.
You know what? I do too, because we need to lift each other up. And,
Yeah,
you know,
I think it's wonderful, but I'm always very appreciative of any positive comments. It's very humbling, and it's very nice to get that feedback. I don't expect it, but I'm happy as long as I felt I've given my best, and I've done the best I can do to make everyone have a good day and enjoy what they came for. I actually remember doing New Year's Eve last year, and I don't normally get nervous or think about it, or it doesn't bother me, getting up and performing in front of people, and I don't care if it's 2 people or 1,000 people or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember last New Year's Eve we were at Voca Beach Hotel, and I'd got T-shirts and caps to give out as well.
Nice.
And to make it a little bit more special. And, we were there. We had a good night. They gave us dinner. It was a beautiful place. But all of a sudden, I don't know why I got into my head, I started thinking, oh, my God, it's all in my hands. All these people, I started freaking myself out thinking, if I don't do a good job, it's all up to me to give these people a great night for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, right. And
So
sorry.
I started getting into my head about it, and I started almost freaking myself out about it. But I was able to turn that around and get back out of my head and thought, stop being so silly. You're just doing what you do every other time.
Exactly. It's really no different.
And it was a great night, but I think just the fact that it was New Year's Eve and there were so many people there, and it was all up to me to give these people a great night. I mean, not just me, obviously the band are there playing as well, but I'm the one with the microphone out front, trying to make sure that they're all included, that, I'm saying and doing the right things, and they're enjoying what we're doing. And
yes, yeah. Yeah.
But,
and I'm sure that they did enjoy it, and I'm sure it was a huge success.
Yeah, no, it was a really good night. But yeah, I've never done that before, got into my head like that and almost talked myself out of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that would happen to you.
Well, it does. I mean, sure. I mean, I exude confidence and that sort of thing, but there are times where I'm not confident.
Yeah.
Not so much in doing that, but in other things,
Yeah. So, Lesley, now where can people get in contact with you for your show, or to book you, or to come and see you? How can they find you? Where would that be?
We have a Facebook page, and it's called Boys in Town, Rock Divas and Divinyls Show.
Awesome. And if they message, they will get you directly answering any query that they had?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So what's next for Boys in Town, Rock Divas and
Divinyls Show?
Divinyls Show. It's a big mouthful.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's Boys in Town is the name of the band, which is after the Divinyls Show. So we all call it BIT. We shorten it to BIT.
Okay.
And and then, of course, explaining what we do, which is Rock Divas and Divinyls Show. The only thing that's not really thrown in there is the mix. We also do the pub rock as well. So there's 3 sets. But, depending on the venue, we also vary that to what they want. We have done just an hour's Divinyls Show when we've been at like a festival thing or something with some other bands and that sort of thing, where we've just done the Divinyls. Yeah. We have done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are next playing at the Coolabah Hotel in Marylands on the 30th of September. Then we've got a couple of gigs up the coast. I think we're at Tate's again on the 29th of October, Tate's Hotel in Windsor. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a few things coming up.
Oh, that's fantastic, and I hope that you continue to keep this band going for a long time yet.
Well, I do too. I think the thing is not to, it's not it doesn't support my lifestyle.
We all wish it did, eh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, that's why I go to work, to
to support being a musician. Anyway, Lesley, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking with you this evening. You're a great lady, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing next, because you always surprise, and you're a show worth watching.
Thank you so much, Crystal. It's very kind, and thank you so much for asking me to have a chat with you tonight. It's been fun and something I've not done before, but it's been great. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome. My pleasure indeed. All right, well, Lesley, we'll leave it there for this evening. Once again, thank you so much, and
Thanks, Crystal.
We'll catch up with you another time.
Thanks,
Good night.
Crystal. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was the fabulous Lesley Mingare from the Boys in Town, Rock Divas and Divinyls Show. You have been listening to Conversations with Crystal. I'm your hostess, Crystal. And until next week, when we have another fabulous guest, please remember to stay safe, stay happy, stay cool, stay awesome, and most of all, please stay tuned to this channel. Good night.